Welcome to Beyond the Frames, where we dive deeper into the stories, the art, and the magic of cinema. From hidden details to unforgettable moments, we go beyond the screen to bring movies to life. Let's roll the reel and start this journey together.
Okay, so are you ready to dive in?
I am totally ready. Let's go.
All right, because today we are taking a deep dive into a movie that seriously, changed the game for superhero films.
Change the game. How so?
Well, we're talking about Iron Man back in 2008.
Ah, yes. Iron Man.
You know, it wasn't just another superhero flick.
Right.
We're going to look at, all the stuff behind it.
Okay.
Articles and, behind-the-scenes info.
Oh, cool.
And all that to, figure out what made this movie such a global phenomenon.
I'm intrigued already.
So we're going way beyond just the repulsor rays and the shiny suit.
Okay, sounds good.
And we're going to see what made this film tick.
All right, let's get into it.
What I find so fascinating about Iron Man is that it came out when superhero movies were getting a little predictable. You know?
Yeah, they were kind of stuck in a rut.
Totally. And Iron Man just blew those expectations away.
For sure.
I mean, it gave us a hero who's messed up and relatable at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
Remember how the movie starts? Tony Stark, genius, billionaire, playboy philanthropist.
Right.
More into fast cars and parties than the consequences of his company making weapons.
Yeah, and then
bam, he gets captured.
Oh, right.
He's suddenly facing the damage his weapons have caused.
Yeah, that was heavy.
Talk about a wake-up call, right?
It's a huge turning point in the film.
Totally.
I think it speaks to that whole theme of redemption.
Yes.
Which runs through the entire story.
Right.
It's not just Tony getting out of that cave, Yeah. It's about him facing the harm he's done.
Exactly.
That's where the real transformation kicks in.
And it really makes you think, doesn't it?
About
our own responsibility for the choices we make.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, maybe we're not building weapons of mass destruction or anything,
Yeah.
but we all have choices in our lives.
You do.
And those choices have consequences.
Absolutely. Every choice has a ripple effect.
Exactly. And Iron Man really doesn't shy away from those tough ethical questions.
It does.
You see it in how Tony wrestles with the legacy of Stark Industries.
Yeah. His father's company.
Right, it's all about the burden of power,
Both corporate and technological.
Yeah, and that theme is even more relevant now than it was back then.
Oh, totally.
Okay, can we just talk about Robert Downey Jr. for a minute?
Please.
Seriously, it's as if the role of Tony Stark was made for him.
It really does feel that way.
The charisma, the wit, the vulnerability he brought to the character.
Totally.
It's no wonder Tony Stark became such an icon.
Downey Jr.'s performance wasn't just acting.
What was it then?
It was like he became Tony Stark.
You really think so?
Oh, yeah. You see the humor, of course,
Yeah.
but also the flaws underneath,
Right.
Like the internal struggles he's dealing with.
He made this billionaire playboy with PTSD someone we could all relate to.
It's true, and that's not easy to do.
And we can't forget Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts.
Oh, yes, Pepper.
She's strong and independent.
Definitely.
She doesn't let Tony's big personality overshadow her.
Not one bit.
What I find even more impressive about Downey Jr.'s performance is how real the film feels.
Real.
Yeah, director Jon Favreau went for this realistic vibe,
Right.
focusing on the tech and the nitty-gritty of Tony building the suit.
I see.
It wasn't like magic. It felt achievable.
And something you could actually do.
Right, even if you didn't have Tony Stark's genius.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That grounded approach made the action so much more intense.
You're right, it felt real.
Yeah, and you really believed that a flawed guy like Tony could
Yeah.
actually build this suit and fight for what he thought was right.
And they did an amazing job blending CGI with practical effects.
Absolutely groundbreaking stuff.
It let Downey Jr. actually interact with the suit.
Right, it made it feel so real.
So what happened?
Tell me.
The movie became a massive hit.
It did.
A cultural phenomenon.
It changed everything.
Iron Man totally changed the game for superhero movies.
I agree.
Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of that Iron Man magic.
What magic?
The humor, the heart, the mix of action and deeper meaning.
Ah, yeah. It set the stage for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow.
This huge interconnected web of stories.
And we can't get enough of it.
Right. Tony Stark with his flaws and his heroism, his struggles and triumphs.
Is amazing.
And he became the model for a whole new kind of superhero.
I think we need to address something before we wrap up.
Oh, what's that?
It's like the elephant in the room.
Okay, I'm listening.
A lot of people felt the final battle with Ironmonger was a bit of a letdown.
Really?
Yeah, especially compared to the rest of the film.
I see what you mean.
What do you think went wrong there?
Well, I think the issue is with Obadiah Stane.
The villain.
Yeah, played by Jeff Bridges. Now, Bridges did a good job acting.
He did?
But the character himself isn't as complex as Tony Stark.
You're right.
He's missing that depth and motivation that made Tony so interesting.
It's true.
I think it highlights how important a really great villain is in these stories.
Oh, totally.
You need that clash of ideas, that mirror image of the hero to make the conflict really hit home.
So we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
From Tony's journey from playboy to hero, the amazing special effects, and the impact this film had on culture.
Definitely.
I think it's safe to say Iron Man is more than just a superhero movie.
I agree.
It's a story about redemption, second chances, and the power we all have to change.
I like that.
It makes us think about our own choices, the impact we have on the world.
For sure.
And how even larger-than-life characters deal with real human problems.
That's what makes it so powerful.
So here's something to think about.
What's that?
As you watch Iron Man again, or maybe even explore the whole MCU.
Okay.
Think about how our idea of what a superhero is has changed since 2008.
That's a good question.
What does it even mean to be a hero in today's world? It's a question worth thinking about.
It is.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover your own answers.
Maybe.
Hidden within the glow of Iron Man's arc reactor.
I like it.
Until next time, keep diving deep and stay curious.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.